The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Sicilian Corner, winner of the Italian Heritage Media Award, with your hosts, Tom Zappola and Mike Lamazzo.
Mikey,
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
Are you? Did a lot of cooking yesterday, did you?
Not much.
No.
But
did you do any, Tom? That's probably the question. That's where I want to go with this.
Yesterday morning when I got up, I made an
Bloody Marys?
English muffin for myself.
Oh, English muffin.
Before we
for
went
yourself.
Before we went to my son's. But I got to tell you something. I was exhausted. This tryptophan thing that's in the turkeys. Is this stuff real? You know the stuff that makes you sleepy? I thought it was a gaffe. I thought it was
Does MSG make you sleepy?
I got home last night. I almost fell asleep at the wheel. Coming home, I almost fell asleep on 495. Ellen had to grab the wheel.
No. See, that had nothing to do with MSG. It had nothing to do with the chemicals that are in turkey, natural.
I had 2 martinis. Don't get on there.
That'll do it,
I had
crazy son of a gun.
I had 2 martinis over the course of the whole afternoon. 2 martinis.
2 martinis. You're probably borderline limit.
You should have seen this. I'm serving.
You weaving, were you?
This is my second marriage. My first marriage, married 20. And by the way, this is Mike Kuenzler. We're going to talk to Mike in a second.
He's trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
First marriage, I'm married 22 years. Second marriage, my wife, Ellen, said, we've been married 21. And she said, as long as we can exceed 22, it's a home run. So now you have to understand, my ex-wife and I were very close friends. And Ellen and my ex-wife are very close friends.
It's the strangest setup you've ever seen in your life.
I mean, everybody gets
really.
along, which is good. It's good.
It's good for the kids.
So yesterday, I said to Ellen, can I make you a martini? And she says, of course. My daughter-in-law, Chrissy, my ex-wife, said, I'd like one too. So I make them all a martini.
Oh, Chrissy was with you yesterday?
Oh, God, yes. We're at my son's house.
Oh, I didn't know she was.
Yeah, so I hand out the martinis, and instead of saying Happy Thanksgiving, my ex says, 1 more year and you guys have made it.
She's got a good sense of humor.
Great sense of humor.
Yeah, you're very fortunate.
We're good. We're fun.
You have that kind of a relationship.
The name of the show is the Sicilian Corner, and we are so pleased. And this is all because of my partner, Mikey Lamazzo. We are so pleased to have this man was the attorney at the Chicago. Wrong Kuenzler. I'm sorry. Mike Kuenzler from Grazie. Mike, you can lead this charge.
Yeah, absolutely. We're very fortunate in the Merrimack Valley, southern New Hampshire area, to have as many good Italian restaurants as we do. This is a beautiful, beautiful area for Italian.
Is Mike okay?
And I love it. I love it.
Okay.
I like I said to you when we first met and the first time I went to your restaurant, I'm pretty much in tune to all new restaurants that are opening up in the area. I eat out a lot more than most people, and I eat with my eyes. I've said this before.
Sure doesn't show.
You're killing me.
You're looking a little portly these days.
Yeah. Yakulu was looking portly.
Go ahead.
So anyway, the first time I went to your restaurant, I went with Barbara, and we were both blown away. First, we sat outside, and sitting outside overlooking that beautiful golf course, it's special. Now, it's pretty high because you can see...
Very elevated.
Do you know what the elevation is approximately?
I don't know the elevation. The way I describe it, you can actually see the Prudential Center and the Hancock Center.
I have. That's why.
Sitting
that's
down
the reason
having
for my
lunch
question.
on the patio. You can see them from there. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, again, like I said, there are some good Italian restaurants in the area, some better than others. And my experience at Grazie's, and I'm not, even if you weren't a sponsor of this show, and Tommy
in defense of Mike, he's brutal, and I'm being.
I can be.
He can be brutal.
I call it the way it is.
We've been sued 45 times. No, we haven't. But he's been brutal in some restaurants, justifiably, right?
Fratelli's was one.
Right.
At the Encore.
And there was a couple of other ones. The guy in Newburyport that you skewered, Joseph's Winter Street Cafe.
No, that was because of you.
It wasn't
because you're so impatient. You said to the guy, hey, while I'm young, can you bring some bread? That set the tempo right
The guy
there.
brought the bread in for dessert. It was wonderful.
He says to us, they're making it.
That's what he said.
And it was a holiday.
But anyway, make a long story short, Mike he's very critical, and justifiably, because he does have as much as I hate to admit, you have a pretty good palate when it comes to.
I don't have a pretty good. I have an excellent.
Okay, let's not go down that road. All right, please.
You're the one that brought it up.
All right, but anyway,
what are you looking at me
He
for?
raved about your restaurant, raved about it,
Wonderful.
and you did. You really did.
Thank you, Mike.
Like I said, to me, it's in my top 5 from around here.
So I'm going to ask you this question instead of Mike. How do you rate it with the better? All right. How do you rate it with the better Italian restaurants in the North End? Now we're not going to. Some of them sponsors. We're not going to mention. But overall, how do you rate? Where would this restaurant? Forget the country club. Just the restaurant itself. Move it into the North End. How does it rate?
It's pretty hard to pass judgment on something like that because the restaurants in the North End are so tight, so small. I have to have people hanging on my shoulder. They don't want to give you dessert because they want to turn that table over. I'm not a big.
I know you're not a big fan of the North End restaurants, and I understand that.
Parking is a serious issue.
Forget all that.
That goes with
Pagliucci's. Let's talk about Pagliucci's.
You know something? The three brothers do a great job.
Okay.
It's like eating in my own house. I don't go there all the time, but it's like family. It's small.
So the difference there's a difference. Okay.
The food is
acceptable.
Southern Italy.
Acceptable.
A lot of sauces and all that. Whereas your particular restaurant offers. I was telling you earlier that Barbara and I will go there, and I'll order a martini. I'll order the antipasto. Why don't you tell the folks what's in the antipasto?
The easiest way, it's everything. Everything Italian is in the antipasto. People love it. It's our number one seller. People talk about it.
For two? Is it for two? For four?
Oh, at least two. At least two, honestly. I mean, at least
three
two.
people could eat it.
Absolutely.
So, do you offer the antipasto for like lunch?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can go in, have just the antipasto,
And a
couple of
pizza.
cocktails.
And a pizza. That's what we do.
That's good. Okay.
And you know something? It's affordable. Today, to go out to eat is an expensive proposition.
Absolutely.
I mean, you look at what you're paying for a product now compared to what you were paying.
Unbelievable.
It's
It
mind-boggling.
really is.
Now, the restaurant itself, Grazie is a little more than just a restaurant. It's a restaurant, but it's kind of like a destination place because of other things. You have 18-hole golf course?
18-hole golf course.
Are you a good golfer?
Well, you know, it's the funniest thing because I'm really not a good golfer.
It's like the cobbler whose kids run around with holes in their shoes.
I'm lucky if I get out a couple of times a week. We were running a charity event there 2 years ago, and they had a putting contest. And we come up to the putting contest, and I never make a putt, and this is a long putt. So I make the putt. I never make it. And I'm walking away, and I hear the people doing the fundraiser say, he always makes the putts here. He owns the place. He's a great golfer. And my friends with me kind of got a laugh out of it because I'm a terrible golfer. I don't even have a handicap. It's so high. Honestly, I'm just
all right, so was the original idea by the golf course, what was it the chicken or the egg?
Well, you know, it's known to be a golf course, number one. A friend of mine was involved. He kind of got me involved, and things just started spinning from there. And before I knew it, my wife and I owned a golf course. But a lot of people will say that when they talk about Grazie, the restaurant, they won't say there's a restaurant at this golf course. They'll say there's a golf course at this restaurant. And to me, that's the ultimate compliment.
That is a good compliment.
I say that all the time.
Yeah.
Now, is there again, I've never been to the restaurant, and I'm the first to admit it. Mike busts my chop about my 5-mile radius, which I've expanded to 7.5 miles, by the way.
You must be exhausted.
It gets tiring, but I'm getting out there. Is it a private golf course, semi-private?
No, it's a public golf course, so with membership.
Okay.
So basically, the members that we have there are able to book 14 days in advance. So they're able to secure better tee times.
Okay.
But it's also open to the public. The public can golf can set their tee times 7 days out.
So can you buy this? You don't offer a package for like something that goes with the golf course and the restaurant?
No.
Separate.
Completely separate.
Okay.
In addition to that, we do events there. So we have 2 large ballrooms that can both be split into 2. So we could be doing 4 events at one time or 2 big events at one time.
Did you just remodel or build?
We did. We
Yeah.
just did a remodel there and added on a brand new ballroom, state of the arts. And I'll tell you, any people really love the decorations up there. They love the way everything looks up there, and that's all my wife Cindy, to be totally honest with you.
So her footprint
She's
is all over.
all
right?
over the place.
But you know,
Why don't
that's
you give a shout out to her?
Cindy is amazing.
we're going to get her in here.
Absolutely.
You know, but
Absolutely.
that's going to
Busy
be
putting
that's,
up Christmas decorations.
She's up
today.
there working now.
but that's going to be a feather in your cap that we've gone through 2 years of hell in the restaurant business, in the event business, and yet you're able to remodel the place. So that's a good sign.
Well, we started the remodeling. We broke ground and dug the foundation basically 2 weeks before the virus kind of set in.
Wonderful
And
timing.
there was
Wonderful timing.
at that point we had a big hole in the ground, and there was no turning back. To be honest with you, it was an incredible challenge, but we've made it through to the other side, and we're better off for it now.
How are your bookings for like weddings, for instance?
Next year will be our busiest wedding
Good for you.
season.
I love hearing
yeah.
that. That's
Wonderful.
great. That is awesome.
This year actually
You know,
was
it's
a
funny
good
you
year
bring
as
that
well.
up because Chrissy's looking for a place.
Yeah,
She
Chrissy's.
wants to get married. And
All right.
May we suggest?
Oh, I do?
I do.
I did. See, I was practicing. Do you like that? That was good.
So that's great. I like hearing stories like that about riding out the storm.
Yeah.
And next year, you guys. So summertime must be incredibly crazy for you
Summertime
guys.
is very busy up there. It's the peak of golf. It's the peak of the wedding season. The restaurant, because we have the outside dining,
How many people can sit out there, Mike?
the outside area, probably about 72 to 80 people outside.
lot.
All right. So let me ask again. I've never been on the property. So
Perfect heaters if it's cool at
So,
night.
so the outside dining, there are no
2 fire
restrictions.
pits.
No restrictions as far as you go for outside dining.
Right.
How far do you go into the season for outside dining?
It depends.
Weather related.
Yeah.
About a week ago, we had that little bit of a heat wave for November.
Opened it up.
So
Boom.
you can
You
basically
get
open up
calls.
anytime at you anytime.
We can.
Oh,
we can.
That's fabulous.
We can. And it's our place, when the weather is good, everything spikes because people want to eat out. People love, even before the virus, people always liked eating outside. Now, to be honest, with the virus and everything, people are, you
All
can't
right,
get a seat outside.
I'm making this public, and anybody that knows Tommy Fasese, a lot of our followers know. Someone call Fasese, and you tell him that the next time we go out, that's where we're going, because we have a group of 8 of us, 8 couples that go out, and we're gonna check it
Super.
out. We're gonna check
And
it
in
out.
our
Super.
audience, we have Peter.
Peter,
and,
yeah.
And Peter and his wife were first-time visitors because of the radio show, and he had nothing but good things to say.
Awesome.
Mike, how about a little bit about your background? Because you're kind of like, you've been all over the place
Yeah.
career-wise, which is,
You want to buy a car?
No, that's a good. No, that's a good thing.
Used.
No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So, you were a police officer at one
Retired
time.
police officer from Lowell, Massachusetts. Retired coach. I coached wrestling for 18 years
At
between
Lowell High?
Lowell High and Greater Lowell, both schools.
Wow.
I had a foundation company. My partner was Billy Finn in the early 1980s. He still runs that company today.
Fantastic.
I had
Car dealership.
a car dealership. I was involved at Mercedes-Benz of Burlington with Bernie Marino and another group of guys.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
It's very similar, but on a much smaller scale.
Yeah.
From
We-
skis to everything else.
I still have All Sports and Heroes, so that's a promotional company and a uniform company, and we just celebrated our 25th year in business.
What is that about?
And that's my wife and I. Cindy is very
So,
involved
now, what do you
there.
mean by promotional? I mean,
We do embroidery, screening,
you sell
everything.
like
uniforms
pens,
for
things like that.
Yeah, the pens that you write with, anything you're wearing.
So
that would
he's a
have
competitor of Petrocelli Market.
Yeah,
I told
absolutely.
him that earlier.
Absolutely.
There's one
yeah.
of our Milo pens.
Yeah, anything that you
cherish
can
it.
put a logo on, but we also do.
Why don't we negotiate a merger like we're doing for the other 2 guys? You and I, we're negotiating a merger for 2 other people we won't mention.
Right.
Why don't we negotiate a merger with Petrocelli and these people? Right? Strength in numbers, baby.
See?
Cover all of New Hampshire, all of New
Absolutely.
England.
Absolutely.
Right?
There you go.
Absolutely.
So I mean that's wonderful. So so how did it all get to Grazie?
It got to Grazie. Like I said, I'm going back maybe 10 years ago, and a friend of mine had some involvement at the golf course, so I kind of helped out and did some things there for a little while, and then got away from it. And then they actually, at some point, lost it to bankruptcy. And to be honest, a golf course is a very tough business, especially in New England.
I can't even imagine.
It's a really tough
very
business.
Seasonal, very short season.
And so I think we ended up being the third owners, and they say it takes at least 3 owners before you can turn a profit in a golf course. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so
was it always called? Was it always had the same name, Four Oaks?
no, it was Meadow Creek.
Okay.
Because the address is 80 Meadow Creek Drive.
Gotcha.
So it was Meadow Creek, and the restaurant, I believe at one point was called Tempo. And so we've changed a lot of things.
Mike, all those beautiful homes leading up to the golf course, going up the hill, is that property that belonged to?
No, that was originally part of the golf course itself. And it
10
was...
years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly, and all the homes up there have been sold. They've done really well up there.
You had nothing to do with that development.
With that development.
I mean, they're like hotels,
imagine.
some of them.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I mean, Jesus.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. I wouldn't want to pay the taxes on. How are taxes in Draken?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Not too bad. I wish I could say that.
So do I.
Yeah.
Mine are killing us.
Wyndham, New Hampshire, God, they're anti-business. And I say that in a nice way, tongue-in-cheek, which I like. It's a bedroom community.
Yep.
8 o'clock in the morning, the whole town tilts south. Everybody goes to Boston to work. At 5 o'clock, tilts the other way.
Yep.
But as far as businesses in town, forget about it.
Yep.
They left that to Salem.
Yep.
You know?
Same thing with Merrimack.
That's why the taxes are high, right?
Yeah, because the homeowner is the only one fitting the bill.
We are chatting with Mike Kuenzler from Grazie and Four Oaks Country Club. Why don't we take a break now? Let's take a break now, because when we come back, I want to get into the menu, because that's what I'm all about.
The menu's excellent.
You know something? Why don't you let me make that choice?
Why?
Because
why do you have to make?
Because I'm a connoisseur of fine food.
Oh, Jesus, not true. Not true. No,
Are you kidding?
You'll never convince me of that in a million years.
You know that this morning on my Cheerios, I
your Cheerios.
I put craisins on them.
Oh, now you're it.
All right?
Now you're making
craisins. Not just plain.
That's a statement.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Looking for that something special? All of us here at the Sicilian Corner suggest trying Ristorante Uno, located at 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. For the most exquisite dining experience in an intimate setting that serves authentic regional Italian cuisine and features old country service. Try Ristorante Uno. Did we mention their award-winning wine cellar? Ristorante Uno, 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. Call 617-573-9406 for reservations. That's 617-573-9406. Tell them the boys from the Sicilian Corner sent you.
Today, Lawrence General Hospital has affiliations with leading Boston academic medical centers. Top specialists from Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center and Floating Hospital for Children at Tufts Medical Center work with our local doctors to bring world-class care close to home. Today, amazing partnerships are happening at Lawrence General Hospital. To learn more, visit lawrencegeneral.org/today.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine is pleased to announce the opening of their American College of Radiology accredited MRI unit at their location at 16 Pelham Road in Salem, New Hampshire. So now, in addition to receiving the best orthopedic care in the Merrimack Valley, as well as physical and occupational therapy at Optima Sports Therapy and Rehab, you can also have your MRI, all in one convenient location. The doctors and staff of Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine have been dedicated to providing outstanding medical care to the Merrimack Valley in southern New Hampshire since 1984. Located on Route 97, just off Exit 2 from Route 93 North, on the second floor of the Workout Club of Salem. You deserve the best care, and that's exactly what you'll get from the board-certified surgeons at Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine. Please call 603-898-2244 to schedule an appointment.
A loyal sponsor for the Sicilian Corner is Hilton Oil Company. Hilton Oil has been located right across from the South Lawrence Common since 1932 at 101 South Union Street. Hilton Oil Company specializes in 24-hour burner service, oil deliveries, including automatic deliveries, serving all the Merrimack Valley area, plus portions of southern New Hampshire. If you want your car fixed right the first time, bring it to Hilton's state-of-the-art service station. Remember, Hilton's is also a Mass State Inspection Station. Hilton Oil Company, 101 South Union Street in Lawrence. Call 978-687-9793.
This is Cindy
and Mike Kuenzler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts,
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benny Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benny is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
You know, Mike, I got to be honest with you, both Mikes. Benny Curti, is that your?
Yes.
Yeah. He should try me out as a sous chef.
Really? We're always looking for help.
I think I would be good.
You do.
Pitch me with one of those things on, those hats.
What are those hats that the chefs wear? What do you
They're
call
called
them?
chef's hats.
Mike, do you know?
Chef's hats.
David, do you know?
It's a technical term. It's a chef hat.
Say that again, David.
Chef hat.
Chef hat.
We're all on the same page.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so let's. I want to get into the menu, but let's talk about Benny first.
Yeah.
Benny is like kind of a key guy, right?
Yeah, Benny's the man. We say Benny's a rock star there, because he's the whole package. In addition to, he's always doing the cooking. I mean, he's always cooking. It's his passion, but we have an open concept. So as you walk into the restaurant, you look to the right. And you see Benny the whole time.
Oh, so you walk the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you see him the whole time. And he doesn't miss anybody that walks through that door. Mike, you can.
We were talking about that.
You know?
I mean,
that's good business.
Barbara and I will go there.
That's good business.
He comes over to the table.
That's very good business.
I mean, that's important. Everybody likes to be recognized. I don't care if it's you.
No, that's a good point.
Everybody.
You're absolutely.
No matter how busy he is, and boy, let me tell you, between the pizza oven. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, hold on a second. I have a question about Benny. So Benny is the key guy, just like Antoinette is the key person in her restaurant. I'm sure he has a hell of a support staff. I mean, what happens if Benny got the mumps?
Well, look,
he can't come in one day.
Here's the thing: you can't. We are open now, right now for the winter. We're closed on Sundays and Mondays for the winter. But once the season starts up, we're open 7 nights a week. Well, Benny can't work 7 nights a week.
Right, exactly.
So really, the most important thing in any restaurant, I think the viewers will agree, is to be consistent, right? Because if you have a beautiful meal and Benny's there and you come back and he's not there, you still want to have the beautiful meal and it needs to taste the same.
The same dish has to taste the same. You're right.
And I can tell you, we never hear from anyone, I was in last night, but Benny wasn't there. We never hear that.
Oh, that's a good thing.
So he does a great job also of teaching his sous chef and everyone else that works here, so that it's the same every time. Such an important thing.
You're only as good as your help. I mean, I work in retail all my life. I understand that.
See, that's how I feel about the show. Only as good as my help.
Well, you're in trouble. Deep trouble.
You're not kidding.
Trouble.
All right, what's your favorite? You've eaten there several times, Mikey. What were your favorite dishes?
Well, a lot of times I go for lunch because it's more convenient.
Yeah.
You know, Mike, I know you're far from it.
He can't drive at night. I'm teasing.
I like going for lunch. In the good weather, I like sitting outside, like I said. But forget that. I enjoy, I said before, the antipasto. If I'm hungry, I'll get the eggplant stack.
Yes.
Are you kidding?
Tell me about that.
You kidding? It's like yay high.
Yeah.
Eggplant completely.
It's almost like a pie, or it's almost like a lasagna. It kind of looks like, right?
And it's built
It's
up.
just built up.
But it's like an eggplant palm that's just built.
Exactly.
Okay,
It's a stack.
Exactly. Yeah.
Beautiful.
If you can eat that and you eat the antipasto
You're done.
with the bread, you're gone.
Absolutely.
You're gone.
Okay, now what about dinner?
I enjoy the fish dinners. I always try to get.
Like he'll do a bronzino special, which whenever he
is
does sells out.
Bronzino, it's
probably not going to be on that. That's going to be a
no,
special.
but you know what I'm noticing here? I'm noticing that you have. Listen, this is basically an Italian restaurant, but you have offerings that are a little, for the landlubber, if you want to call them. You've got filet, you've got lamb shanks, which I love, braised short ribs. So you have kind of a mixture for the person that doesn't necessarily have to go to eat Italian.
Absolutely.
Right?
Filet mignon.
Filet mignon, right.
The short ribs.
Okay.
That takes like 4.5 hours to cook.
Yeah.
That's
my favorite.
Is it really?
That's my favorite, the short rib. It's hard when I go in there. You try to always taste everything differently, but that's my go-to.
So you and your wife eat pretty good?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's been tough to.
No, you keep yourself. You keep yourself looking
really
good.
is.
Did you go to school in Lowell?
Yeah, Lowell High. And
Did
then
you play football?
I played football. I wrestled there.
Okay,
and
that's
then I
why
went on
you
to
became
coach there.
coaches.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good for you.
All right, so then you do offer a lot of, you get lobster ravioli.
A lot of homemade pastas.
That's awesome. Very, very.
They made
this
from
is a pretty
scratch right
impressive.
on site.
Pretty impressive.
You know, Tommy, who I compare him to? Ristorante Melisse.
Really?
Yeah.
Consistent.
Old-fashioned.
A friend of ours owns a restaurant up in Amesbury.
And she was from Italy, from the Melisse area. Her and her sister.
That's
as authentic.
I mean, that's a 5-star restaurant as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, they don't get the recognition, like Tuscan.
Yeah.
Tuscan Kitchen.
It's very small.
I'll have to try that out.
And Joe Farrow.
It's excellent. It really is.
Yeah.
Up in Amesbury.
Yeah,
Really.
it's
called
excellent.
Ristorante Melisse. Two sisters. Place holds maybe 50, if that.
Wow.
If that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But talk about dedicated.
Okay, I'm a pizza guy.
Oh, now you're talking.
I'm a pizza guy, and I'm very, very particular about my pizza.
You like figs?
I'm talking to him.
You like figs?
I do like figs.
Don't ignore me.
But too many figs, then you got to be careful with figs.
Well, it's a natural.
They have a pecan fig pizza.
I know.
With arugula.
Yep.
And now, when I first heard of that, I'm like, it wouldn't be something I would think I would get.
Right.
It's one of my favorite pizzas there. They have the carbonara, which is basically a breakfast pizza. It's Italian ham.
A lot of white pizza.
With eggs.
Yeah. Wow.
It's
very
it's
cool.
Really amazing.
We have your attention, Chrissy?
Oh, yeah, you do now. You're talking
Right?
food. David and I are over here drooling again.
The beauty is I want to talk about the pizza oven for a second.
Yeah.
So, and this was due to Benny and his recommendation. So, the pizza oven came directly from Italy.
Mm-hmm.
The pizza oven had to be put in before we built the restaurant. That's how big it is.
Wow.
And we had to Tupinada Rigging Company.
Yeah.
They had to rig it in, set it, and then we
built around it.
And then we closed
Is
the
the
walls
interior?
around it.
What is the interior?
Yep.
Brick, stone.
It's all stone inside.
Wow.
And
Very cool.
it's just amazing.
Very cool.
It's all with wood. Yeah. Everything's cooked with wood. It gets up to 900 degrees. And the amazing thing is it cooks a pizza in 90 seconds. So think about a minute and a half. You can actually put a raw pizza in there.
That's what it takes.
And almost within your eyes, you're just watching
Is the wood
90 seconds.
Is the wood set in the oven with the pizza
oven.
off to the side?
Exactly.
Ah, that's awesome.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
No,
really good.
You know something?
Really cool.
When you decide to get out of your little realm, your little circle.
Excuse me, I have an uni pizza oven.
We're going to send
My
some
kids bought
pizzas
it
to
for
the
me.
studio one of these shows for you
we'd love
guys.
that.
Oh,
okay?
cool.
And
Now I'm really
all right?
listening.
You see what he just said?
I'm going to get through that 5-mile barrier, and I'm going to deliver it. Now, we don't deliver, but
That's
I'm going
quite
to
all
do
right,
that
quite all right.
for you.
Your pizza oven that the kids gave you.
My uni pizza oven.
What is it called?
Uni.
Okay.
Came from Italy.
Did you
It's
have
this
to
big.
you brought that in first, then you put the walls up around the kitchen?
Well, not quite.
How big is it, T?
This big.
There you go.
But it does go up to 1,000 degrees.
Wow.
And the pizza's already in 30 seconds.
And it's all electric, or you have to burn wood?
No, you have to use wood pellets in the back. You feed it with wood pellets. It's kind of cool.
And it goes to 1,000 degrees?
1,000 degrees, yeah.
And you use that in the house?
No, God, no. We use it in the summertime on the deck.
Outside,
we have the grandkids over. We had them over this summer. We must have made 30 pizzas.
Yeah, it's more and more popular.
I was giving them away in the neighborhood because the kids were just making pizzas. They were having fun making pizzas. We had all kinds of pizza.
I know, gosh darn well, you didn't make your own dough.
It's
of
called...
course not. It's called Tripoli.
Tripoli.
There you
correct.
go.
It's called
Bakery.
Tripoli Bakery.
Give me 5 rolls
That's
of that.
exactly correct. All right, so let's continue. So, Mikey, your favorite is the antipasto, but you also...
I like... One thing I like about going to a restaurant is I want to relax. I put up with enough BS working with you during the course of the week.
Quite understandable.
Yeah. So I like to have... I like Grey Goose. I sit there, good conversation. I like the antipasto because it's slow to eat.
Yeah, you could just pick at it.
Exactly.
And it's got a little bit of everything.
That's cool.
And it's
Very
ample.
cool.
I mean, I'm saying it's
Very
ample.
cool.
But everything between the capicola, the Parma prosciutto.
How's the quality? I'm going to ask you this question in front of this gentleman. How's his cheese quality?
The cheeses are outstanding. You got 3. You got.
It's important. It's
really
critical.
is.
The whole thing. You got.
I mean, you can't use Vermont cheddar cheese.
No, this is all.
I mean, it's a real deal.
And plus
everything's
they
the real
mix it.
deal.
They put soft cheese, hard cheese.
That's good.
Right.
So, to me,
burrata on the top there
Exactly.
with the drizzle over it.
Very cool. Now, what about your olive oils? Do you use different kinds of extra virgin olive oil, or do you stick with one brand?
Benny gets everything right from Italy, and so the olive oil will always be the same that's in there. The bread that you have before dinner is baked right on site. We make our own homemade breads right in there.
The place smells. You walk in there.
This is sounding good.
You gain a pound and a half just walking.
You don't do any special Christmas meals, do you? Like the 7 fishes or any of that stuff?
No. We keep our menu year round, but we will always have different specials coming on. Like I was in last week, and Benny did a scallop special, but he did a scallop special over a homemade pasta and a lemon butter sauce. I was like, it was.
Killing me.
You know, it's
You're killing me
exciting.
here. Do you guys ever discuss that, or you just you just Betty run with it?
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to discuss what my special is going to be today. Just go with it.
He's making all those decisions. To be honest with you,
That's important because he doesn't have the time.
No,
and don't interfere when something is right.
Exactly.
Yeah, good point.
That's the key.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
That's exactly what
Absolutely.
it amounts to. And
Now-
the desserts.
Desserts are amazing. He does homemade desserts as well. He does the chocolate cake that he does there.
You know, this could be a road trip for us guys. You know, you don't know this, Chrissy, but in the summertime when we come back, we're going to do a few remotes, and you guys have to be there. We will make it work somehow.
And I live right next to that place, so I can
I'm
pick
there.
up the pizzas.
Oh, that's right.
You don't have to deliver.
Excellent.
I live right over there. So.
Perfect.
Well, hold on a second. Let's take this another step further now.
Oh, God.
So theoretically, you could pick up a couple of pizzas and bring them into the studio.
Yes.
Right?
If the restaurant was open.
Yeah.
Well,
Valid.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right. That's just good to know.
Thoughts for
Yeah,
me.
he's-
He's like,
oh,
it's like this
man.
little plan
Are you kidding me?
happening.
Absolutely. All right. So let's take Grazie and put it aside for a second.
Okay.
What is your favorite restaurant other than
Well,
Grazie?
other than Grazie, I enjoy Lindana. Do you know Lindana's in Burlington? I don't know if you've been there before.
I have.
We used to be involved at the dealership. It was right next door, the
Mercedes
Mercedes dealership in Burlington. So that's when we started going there. There was a manager there at the time, Ho Sheng. He was just amazing, and we got to know him really good.
I remember him,
He's
to be honest with you.
really does a great job. He's still with the company. It's the Columbus
But he
group,
got
I think.
promoted, right?
He's in Boston in their seafood place now. But my wife and I will still go there. It's really, they've got some incredible dishes. We'll go there. We'll go to the Capitol Grill, too, in Burlington.
Yeah.
I'll send a plug to Adam Mackler, the general manager. He's a good friend of
I'm
mine.
a big Capitol Grill fan.
And
consistency.
He's
big fan.
Always the same. Always
quality.
a great meal, and one of the
beef.
best GMs I've ever met.
I got to tell you one thing about Southern Florida is there really is not one good Italian restaurant within 25 miles of us. And we're right in Palm Beach. I mean, we're there. And I'm telling you, the Italian restaurants in Palm Beach, West Palm Beach, Juneau, Jupiter.
And I bet the pizza kind of is under par.
Yeah.
Because the water in Florida
it's
is
not,
not
it's,
conducive.
there's not a real good, consistent Italian restaurant.
I can believe
there
how,
really
how
isn't.
close are you to Del Rey?
30 minutes.
Wait a minute. Let's get back to the 5 miles.
No, but I we never go into Del Rey.
Okay.
Is there
Tremonte is a really good Italian restaurant. Tremonte.
Oh, that's good to know. See, we don't ever go into.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
No. Go to Carmine's. Take a takeout.
I don't go to Carmine's. I go to Doris's.
All right, same thing.
Well, pretty much.
I like Carmine's because it has
the only time
parking.
we were in Del Rey is we did the fundraiser there for the Jimmy Fund at Boston. What's his name of it?
Boston's.
Boston's.
Right on the ocean.
Yeah, we did a.
Those are local guys.
Yeah, we did a Jimmy Fund fundraiser there.
Yep.
And it was a great time. We raised
but the pizza,
$25,000.
Am I right?
Right next to Luna Rosa's, which is another great breakfast spot. The best breakfast spot.
Is it really?
Down
Yeah,
there.
I remember
Luna
that.
Rosa's.
I think
You
it's
should
owned by.
talk to him more. Get out of that freaking circle, that bullseye.
Do you know that the restaurant closest to my house closed down?
Because you don't support it.
No, because of the pandemic, their food was great. The Rhythm Cafe.
A lot of restaurants
Two
went under.
sisters, a little hole
right,
in
Mike?
the
Yeah.
I mean,
it was tough. Absolutely.
the toughest part of being a restaurant owner, you alluded to this earlier. I don't think we were on the air. Is what?
The staff. It's that right now. That's the biggest challenge, to be honest with you. We've been fortunate to be able to stay open and get staff, but we're constantly looking for staff. To be honest with you, I've been in business for a long time. I've never seen anything like it.
No kidding.
And I can't explain it because
is the government making it too easy to stay home? With the incentives they were offering?
Let's just say the government has not made
I know we're not.
They haven't made it easy.
Has not made it easy for restaurants.
So
and
basically,
small businesses.
again, I really haven't paid attention to how that all worked. A lot of restaurants seem to have lost staff who a year and a half ago said, hey, I can stay home and make this money. But hasn't that money run out?
Yeah.
So what are they doing now?
They jump.
That's the hard thing to understand.
They go from one place to another. I mean, somebody can go out on a lunch break and all of a sudden they quit and they're looking for a job at 3 o'clock in the afternoon next door.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate part of this whole thing.
I do have a question. The Oaks Bar and Grill, separate dining area. It's for the golf course.
No. So here's we talked a little bit, maybe this was before we went on air. We did a big renovation last year and put in a brand new ballroom. So before you used to go into the Oaks Bar and Grill and have lunch, and it was pub food. And then Grazie did not open till 5 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Okay.
So now Grazie is open for lunch, takes care of all lunch and dinner and all the food there.
So do you do a golf business where guys finish up playing around the golf?
Guys will always come in and come to the bar in Grazie's now.
Okay.
And even though Grazie's a little bit more of a fine dining, but for lunchtime you can get a burger. You can get a pizza.
Perfect.
So there's probably 5 or 6 salads on the menu. So there's still plenty of options there. It was a kind of a tough decision, but it really has been.
Well, it's going to pay off with the events.
It's really been, and the restaurant itself, we really haven't lost business, which is incredible.
That's amazing. Tommy, you a golfer?
Not anymore. I played golf. I was an avid golfer until I got my RA.
You were?
That's when I used to play 3-4 times a week, and then I took up fishing.
I had
my neighbors. I told you that whole story when I was in. I was an avid golfer, and I was diagnosed with RA about 20 years ago. So I mean that's how I found out. I was in the middle of a round of golf at Havel Country Club. Make a long story short, when I get down to Florida, I mean we bought a place, and I was really looking forward to playing golf.
Sure,
natural,
right?
Yeah,
and our place is on the water, so. I used to watch. I didn't know a damn thing about fishing, and all my neighbors, they were all good guys, Italian guys, and they all pitched in and bought me my first rod.
Wow!
They bought me a rod. They said, "Okay, now you got to come out," and I learned. So now I fish every day because I'm on the water here too.
Wait a minute. Tell Mike the truth. I mean, when you started fishing,
I used to wear the gloves.
Gloves.
Oh God, yeah.
You had the pliers to take the hook out.
Come on now.
That's not fishing.
That first year, I would catch a fish.
The same one.
No, I would catch a fish, and then I would move it over to my buddy to take it off the hook.
Peter, can you believe that?
But I've come a long way since that. I fillet my fish now and all.
I had a friend of mine. His name was Paul, and Paul was an avid golfer. He had a place in Arizona. We'd go out to visit him a couple of times a year, and he played with 3 other guys. Well, he always wanted to win, and he would cheat. and the guys would let him cheat because the winner would pay for drinks and lunch. So he would lose
worked for everybody.
He'd win the
Win the round,
like $200 for lunch.
Who's the? We have about a minute left before our next break. Who's your golf pro?
Tony Martino is the golf pro. Does a wonderful job. He was
What's
at
the last
George
name?
Martino. Has he been with you for a long time?
Yeah, he has. He's been up there about 10 years. He's our pro, and our assistant pro is Mary Wilkinson. And Mary, to her own rights, was the first female pro in the state of Massachusetts.
Wow.
She was the head pro at Salem Country Club.
Great,
and
great
the International.
Played both.
And so with her and Tony, they just make an incredible team. They really do.
It begs the question: what's a pro do here in New England in the winter? Does he have a job in?
We keep our pro year round.
Do you really?
Here. Absolutely.
Because a lot of them go south.
Yeah, but to be honest,
that's what my question.
A lot of them go south and work as assistants down in Florida, and then come back as the pro up here.
But
we keep him here because he's got his family here. His kids are in school, and he's that good to us. And that valuable.
And does he have other responsibilities in the wintertime?
Oh, yeah, the wintertime. He'll do all his booking orders. He runs the pro shop as well with all the merchandise.
You know the guy who plows? That's what he does.
No, that's not
what we the same thing with our superintendent. We pay him year-round and keep him year-round.
That's
the best
around.
He was the assistant superintendent at Salem Country Club for years.
Another great
course.
We're very... I'm assuming that you guys have golf leagues and all that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Good. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Mike Kuenzler's in the house. Again, do you know who William Kuenzler was?
Who?
William Kuenzler.
No.
Well, see, I always talk about what a brilliant man you are, a historian, a history buff.
Yeah.
You have no idea who... Do you know who Abby Hoffman was?
Oh, Abby.
You have no idea, do you? None.
Abby Hoffman. She was some kind of a rebel, wasn't she?
No, it was a he, number one. It was a he.
Abby was a he.
The Chicago 7?
What kind of stupid name is that? So he was a rebel, like I just said.
The Chicago 7?
Yeah.
You have no idea.
He was a troublemaker.
It was a baseball team, Chicago 7. They're the ones that got thrown out for cheating in the 1919 World Series, right?
Was that the White Sox scandal?
Forget it. We're going to take a quick break. Mike Kuenzler from Grazie is in the house. We'll be right back.
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and we can never agree. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with great Italian cuisine, Capri Seaside Italian Grill. Me, I love the elegant romantic vibe, Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu with prices that'll make it the place you want to visit every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of an even cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Music Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all these great places, and they treat everyone like they're Mike Lamazzo. And best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all of this fun is right at your fingertips. We can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out about all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Care Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Deborah Care. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Deborah Care Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kuenzler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts.
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benny Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benny is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
Okay, we are back. We are chatting with Mike Kuenzler from Grazie. It's not Grazie, guys. It's Grazie.
Grazie.
Right?
You got to move the hand. Move the hand.
Oh,
You know,
Grazie.
get the emphasis.
All right, listen. You're involved with the Salvation Army in Lowell, WCAP, our good friend, Sam Poulton, and the gang up there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
So, you familiar with Warren Shaw? Warren Shaw does the radiothon every year for the Salvation Army.
We met him. He's
great guy.
I knew the name.
Yeah,
great guy.
We went in there. He did an interview with us. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know that was his name.
Just a super guy.
Yeah.
And he runs that radiothon, and with the help of Tommy Golden, if you know Tommy, State Representative Tommy Golden, Senator Steve Pangiatakis. He's no longer the senator, but the former senator. So I grew up with these guys, great guys. And so they do a radiothon every year. They raise a ton of money. So
over $200,000.
Yeah, I think last year was even with the times and everything, they did well. But I was talking to Warren. This is going back about 5 years ago, and I said, Warren, maybe I could do something up at the golf course a few weeks before the radiothon, and whatever we can kind of raise, we'll turn over to you guys at the radiothon. So we started that 5 years ago, and what I did was I started a comedy night. A good friend of mine is Lenny Clark. I'm sure you know who Lenny is.
He's a wonderful guy.
We belong to the same.
Yeah, we've used Lenny. Lenny's great.
Okay.
I did a couple of things with him and Tony too. Tony DeMarco.
Okay. He's very good.
Lenny's a good friend. I've traveled with Lenny. He's always been good to us. So we started a comedy night 5 years ago. So we're going to do it again this year. And
now, is Lenny? You have a bunch.
Lenny's my guy. He comes every year. But it'll be Lenny. Christine Hurley, I don't know if you're familiar with her. She's awesome. Steve Sweeney.
Steve is funny.
Yeah. So that's the three this year.
Steve is a riot.
It'll be unbelievable. So it's already sold out. So I'm not here. We're not promoting that. Yeah. That's the one I do at the golf course. It's already sold out, and we do well. We raise anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000 in that one night.
Wow, that's
and
fabulous.
We turn it over at the radiothon.
You have a meal?
It's a full dinner. But and then 3 comedians, but then it's a live auction. Tommy Golden does the live auction for us. And in the live auction, we have anything from, the Capitol Grill, private dinner for 10 people in the private wine room, everything included. So Adam Ackler donates that every year.
Wow.
We have somebody will donate a trip to California.
Very cool.
You get high end.
Very nice.
JetBlue will do, a friend of mine who works there. She volunteers, and when she gets so many hours, they give her 2 tickets to anywhere in the country.
Now, when is the event typically?
The radiothon is going to be December 11th at CAP, and that's going to be 7 in the morning till about noontime.
And your event is?
My event is next week, but again, it's completely sold out. We're still getting calls, but it is completely sold out.
That's fantastic.
And we get sponsors and stuff. Yeah,
that's great.
It's just a lot of our good friends from the golf course that come and support it. They buy a table, and then they spend money on the auction. And then whatever we do, it's just a small part of what that radiothon does.
We participated.
Yeah,
we participated one year.
The governor came.
The governor came. It was you and me and Rico. They asked. We were up there.
Yeah. The governor shows up. We had just left.
We waited. He
wanted to meet Rico, but he didn't want to meet us. He wanted to meet Rico.
But we waited. We were in the bar. We waited for an hour, and he got held up. And Rick said, "Man, Rico had another gig, so we left. We wound up leaving." But anyway, I wanted to talk to both of you guys about something that's very near and dear to my heart. Lowell High School, Lawrence High School. When I was a kid growing up, the biggest rivalry, high school football rivalry in the state was Lowell High School and Lawrence High School. Now, I don't know if you know this, Mike, but Mike will certainly tell you because he tells everybody else. One Mike Lamazzo played on the Lawrence High state championship football team and was first team all-scholastic.
Wow.
And those famous games between Lawrence and Lowell, where there'd be 15,000 people there.
Incredible.
Were you on the team that played in Florida?
No, we decided not to go.
Oh,
We decided as a team not to go. So the city of Lawrence.
You hold on, let me finish.
Why? Why?
Because
It's my
I have
story.
the floor. But wait a second. Didn't you play Lowell to a 6-6 tie that year?
1961, 60 years ago. Wow.
So your record was 8-1 or whatever it was.
8-0-1.
8-0.
I was, honest to God, I was at that game. It was at Lowell. My dad took us to that game.
They had to hire that year 145 police officers, 145, the city of Lowell, because the place was completely gridlocked.
Wow.
They hired 100.
Colley Stadium.
All around.
Right.
Now, the day before the Patriots played, they played at Nickerson Field.
BU.
They had 11,000 people show up. We're high school. We ended up with over 23,000, not counting the sneak-ins.
Wow.
I mean, it was
I
incredible.
remember
But
that game.
We had a couple of
Amazing.
inches of snow. The field was as hard as his head. I mean,
But you have to remember.
What a game.
And you have to remember, Mike, at that time,
I still don't know how.
leather helmets. Mike had a leather helmet.
It was a leather helmet, you hosses. But to have my name associated with being the Globe All-Scholastic
That was great.
first team, it's kind of an oxymoron. All-Scholastic. I was far from being
Mike was the only high school football player that went to high school for 10 straight years.
Amazing.
Very
You set a record.
9.
You were amazing.
Yeah.
How many schools, Mike?
2. Central Catholic till they threw me out, and then Lawrence High.
And did you play? You played football for both, right?
Yeah, I did. I actually played varsity in my freshman year at Central.
And then they happened to toss
But
you.
I made a mistake when I walked into Lawrence my first day.
You went to Jerry Callaghy.
Jerry Callaghy, hell of a ball player.
Yeah.
I see him in the corridor. I walk over. Coach, my name is Mike Lamazzo.
Now, this is a 17-year-old kid.
16.
16-year-old kid.
My name is Mike Lamazzo. I just want to come over and introduce myself to you. Now he's looking at me like I have 2 heads. He says, oh, really? I says, yeah. I says, I just want you to know I'm looking forward to starting on your football team this year. He says, I've got 180 guys coming out for my team this year. He says, what makes you think you're going to play for me? And he's throwing an attitude. I says, look, I don't care if you put me in the 7th or 8th squad. Come starting day, I'm going to be your defensive end. So he grabs me underneath the, you know how you pinch somebody?
Oh, yeah.
Says, you're the cockiest son of a gun that I've ever met in my life. But I did. I started. We only let 46 points get scored in 9 games against our starting defense.
Wow.
And we played Everett.
And Lowell has some great teams, too, though.
Lowell was
back
good.
then, Lowell's great. Riddick was probably the coach at the
Ray
time.
Riddick.
Ray Riddick.
Nice
yeah.
man. The city of Lowell actually, for the 40th anniversary, they planned a dinner over on the boulevard, the Lowell Boulevard. Lenny's, is that the name of it? There was some kind of a restaurant that was there at the time. And they invited all the guys from Lowell and all the guys from Lawrence, and we wore name tags. Wow. And I went up to the guy who played opposite me. I says, I hope you was as tired as I was after that game. And we laughed. We had a drink together. Wow. It was really nice.
We've got about 3 minutes. First of all, Mike, it's been a pleasure having you. We finally got you in this studio.
I can get the president.
God almighty.
We're going to come back. My wife, Cindy, I got to send out props because nobody works harder at Grazie Italian Restaurant in Full Oaks than my wife, Cindy. I mean that sincerely. She's the one that's there all the time, so I want to send that out. And I want to close also, if I could, by saying Warren Shaw, Salvation Army, December 11th. Any listeners out there that want to help them out, it's on CAP from 7 in the morning till around noontime.
That's 980.
The Salvation Army.
Yeah,
to me, is
980 WCs. You know something?
Charities.
Petrocelli walks in. First thing is a cigar. Where's the cigar? Where's... So you don't have a cigar? Is that basically what you're saying? I may. We'll see. We'll see. Mike, it's been a pleasure.
Been a pleasure.
Thank you
guys.
so
Thank
much.
You so
Before
much.
we go, you know what
Michael,
I want you to do?
What's that?
I want you to touch his jacket with your fingers.
It's like yours. It's felt.
It's not your horse's pursuit. Mohair, baby.
No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. With that being said, Grazie Italian Restaurant. You got to check it out. Petrocelli, we're going to this restaurant. This is our kind of Italian restaurant. It's right not too far from your house.
And Tommy's buying. Tommy's buying.
And I'm buying. With that being said, have a wonderful, wonderful holiday.
Thank you, guys.
And remember, if you can't make
Happy
fun of
holidays to
yourself,
everybody.
please, if you can't make fun of yourself, don't make fun of anyone. And
the word America, it's a beautiful, beautiful Italian word.
Absolutely. Have a great week.
God bless.
Audio Jungle.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.